We knew it would happen eventually. It was just a matter of time until we get this technology shoved into our vehicles and our cars. And I think they just went right into it. They didn't really do a soft blow of any sort. So today we're talking about some really big news from the EU that could change the way we drive forever, I think, really. And I know that most of you are likely going to agree, but I think the way I see it is that the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they were the best years. They were the golden years, if I speak to my friends and family. And I clearly looks like it was, you know. So being monitored and observed by any sort of authority is a bad thing, and it simply doesn't benefit us. But it will eventually be that this new technology will be nestled in our lives, basically, and it will be almost impossible to avoid being a part of it. So the EU has just announced that all new cars sold from July 7th, 2024 must be fitted with Intelligent Speed Assistance, or ISA, basically, and a black box. So like the ones they use in aeroplanes, and they also have to have GPS speed limiters, which are becoming mandatory in all new cars. So what does this mean for you and me? So my interpretation is, essentially, these new rules mean that every time we hop into a brand new car, it's going to have some sort of tech on board to keep an eye on how we're driving. That's the kindest way to put it, I think, that just to see how we're driving. The ISA system uses cameras, GPS to recognize speed limits and automatically keep our speed in check, basically. If you go over the speed limit, you'll get a warning, maybe a beep or a vibration on the steering wheel. And if you don't slow down, the car will eventually reduce the power and bring you back down to the legal speed limit. Plus, every time you start the car, the system resets to on, so you can't just turn it off and forget about it. So at least, probably for the next few years, this is how it's going to be. Just maybe for 3 years, maybe for 2 years, maybe for 10 years. We don't really know. And then they'll most likely stricten things up a little bit. So let's talk about these black boxes. These devices will record all sorts of data about your driving, where you're going and at what time, speed, braking, how often you drive, your location, the G-forces. That data can be super helpful in case of an accident, to figure out what happens or happened in the event of any accident. But it also means that we're heading into a future where our movements are constantly tracked. Mark my words, I think this is going to a darker place where we will be disempowered as motorists, I think. So innocently, you can think, well, they can do whatever with this technology on your car. If you can get up at any time of the day or night, get in your car and go and buy some bread from the shop and then go home, what's to worry about? I mean, I think that would be kind of a naive way of looking at it. I think what is being taken away from you is your rights, really, to potter around and not be observed and monitored. And I think that's only going to get worse, I think. So it looks like we're moving towards a world where our cars and our, by extension, we are always connected and monitored. On one hand, I think this could lead to safer roads, obviously, and fewer accidents, which is the important thing, which is great. But I think, on the other hand, it raises these questions, these really serious questions about privacy and freedom and what is it? And if everything we do in our cars is trackable, what does that mean for our personal freedom? Are we comfortable with the idea that our every move behind the wheel is recorded, all of that data, and stored somewhere and accessible over the air to the authorities? They can just log in and just get it. I think it's a huge shift, and I don't think it's a very good one. And whilst it's being sold as a safety feature, as literally everything is, I know it's all, pretty much all the people that watch my videos, most of them, I think it's like 80% of the people that watch my videos, you're above 40 or 50. So you get it. I'm sure most of you are not going to agree that it's all for safety. It's the coin. Yeah. It's sold as safety, and that's why they're saying that. It is definitely to a degree going to help with safety, but it is also a step forward towards a future where cars, or all of our cars, could become another tool for surveillance. So I think, what do you think? Are you excited? Do you permit it? Are you happy with that? Would you rather it not be the case? Or are you worried about the loss of freedom and privacy? So put your thoughts in the comments below. Really keen. You can say anything you want. Let's get that conversation going, because it's going to be really interesting. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of my videos. I'm Ben Alexander, and I make EV news videos almost every day. I sometimes take a day or two off. But yeah, thanks very much for watching.